Well, Ken, obviously, just what we've seen so far this week, Seoul looks like an absolute home run. The media turnout's been massive. It's been a very cool week. Give us your thoughts on the South Korean market and what do you think of this event so far?
So far, so good. We have great turnout from the media. Great turnout last night with the UFC experience at Times Square. Overall, it's our first time here, but we got a great Korean crowd and great Korean fans. Excited about Saturday night.
Nice. Certainly took some hits along the way. Krokop, Thiago Alves, Chung-Gyu Lim. Nothing new. That does happen, but I know when it's your baby, it's your card. It's got to be a little bit painful. So, what was that like for you? You know, knowing what an important event this is, the hurdles, the changes you had to make. What was the whole experience like getting to this moment?
Well, you know, like you said, in the fight business, that's going to happen. It's unfortunate. Series was one right after the other, but in the end, it worked out well. We got some great fighters here. You know, during the process, because it was difficult, the Korean fans were blogging and talking in their cafes about what was going on. But you know, we tried to give back. We brought Mark Hunt here, Big Nog is here, Pena is here. So we got a great group of guest fighters doing stuff with the fans, and I think they've appreciated. They understand the fight game, and they recognize this stuff happens, and they've been supportive of us.
Very good. I wonder if a guy like George Masvidal has a nice place in your heart now as well, being willing to step up, go an extra 2 rounds, take a different fight. You know, when guys do stuff like that for you, do they kind of earn your respect a little?
Well, absolutely. You know, we need their help, and what was interesting this time is there's so many welters on the card this time, so there was some flexibility there. But you know, on the fight side, Joe and Sean take care of that, and they have relationships that go back a long way and look forward in the future. So they've been good in sorting all that out for us.
Nice. Almost a full year on the job now. I know it's been a learning process for you along the way, but talk about, you know, where you are 1 year later versus your expectations and where you hope to be.
Yeah, it's been a year. The time flies. You know, this market, the Asia market, is an exciting, interesting one. We have 2 new markets that we opened up in the Philippines as well as here in Korea. Next year and the following year, we have a lot of hands being raised and a lot of markets we're looking at. We're hiring up in the region, you know, building the team, and yeah, it's exciting, and there's going to be a lot of good things coming next year in 2017 as well.
Such a massive population base over here in Asia. I mean, there's so many different markets. What would you say the biggest challenges? Because it does seem, in my limited travels to Asia, I mean, there's just huge differences from market to market. So what's been your biggest challenges so far?
Well, like you said, the markets, you know, Asia's huge. It's 7 hours from Singapore, where we're based, to Tokyo. Korea, 6.5 hours. China, 5 hours. Shanghai. Markets are huge. You know, now we're looking after the Indian market as well. But the potential is huge. I think the biggest challenge we have is not so much, you know, whether there's UFC fans, but we need relevant fighters and strong fighters. So the fighter development in each of these markets, bringing Asian fighters along, and hopefully getting contenders like, you know, potentially we have here in Korea. That's the next step that we have to work on.
The previous regime, Mainland China, was always mentioned. I know it's very difficult to get there, but is that still something that's on the radar? Is that still a priority?
Sure. Yeah, we have a lot of things going on. China is an important market. We'll have some interesting announcements over the next couple of weeks about the China business. We have a dedicated team actually there starting in January. So China is important and will continue to become more and more important for us in the future.
So is that reopening an office over there when you say dedicated team?
That's to be determined, yeah.
Nice. I know you're a team first guy and you're always happy to give praise to other people, but is there something that you look at that you say, that was all me, but that was my decision, that was my baby?
No, you know, the beauty of our business, and that's really what's exciting for us, is we're a huge brand, but out here we're a small business. I mean, people think we're much bigger than we are, so we have a group of 12 people in Singapore, and every day we make decisions that, you know, whether it's that day or 2 weeks later or 2 months later, like this fan experience we did at Times Square yesterday. First time we've done that in Asia, trying to give back to the Korean fans. Moving forward, we hope to do that at every event. But, you know, the delivery of that with the team, with the agencies here was 100%, and everyone said really positive things about it. So we want to make that a continuous part of the fan experience at every event that we go to market.
Nice. I know that official announcements are always forthcoming, but can you give us a tease for what we're going to see in 2016? Sounds like maybe a pair of events. I mean, is there going to be another road to Japan or road to another market, TV shows? What can we see in Asia for 2016?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. You know, the road to UFC was a big success for us, which demonstrates the flexibility that the team in Vegas on the content side has faith in us to do something that's a little bit different. And it was successful in Japan. We're certainly working on season 2 right now. A lot of planning goes into this type of project, and we think that there's probably opportunity to do something similar in other markets in Asia. So whether it's on the content side or new markets opening up, maybe 2016 or 17, you'll see that coming up soon.
Nice. And lastly, what's fight night like for you? Is it nerves and hoping the product goes well, or is it just at that point all the work is done and actually sit back and be a little bit of a fan, at least for a few hours?
Yeah, it's about teamwork, and the circus rolls around the world. 41 events this year. The global team is terrific. Our team running around, working with the partners here. That night is really about enjoying the event and talking to our partners about next steps and what they like, what they see, how we can improve. But yeah, that's actually easy time for us. Once the event starts, it's out of our hands. Yeah.